Hello friends, welcome or welcome back. It is the start of another video. This video is going to be a little bit of a reset, going through my series tracker, going through some books that I want to get rid of, maybe even going to Target and doing a Target run. I don't know yet. I just have the day off and I told myself that I wanted to do some sort of recording, and that's what I'm doing. So yeah, welcome to my channel. I feel like it's been a minute. I'm trying to get good lighting. Obviously, I'm in my new room. I love it in here. It's great. I am gonna close the door because I am doing laundry and you can hear the dryer going, so I apologize if you can hear it that badly. But I'm in my room. I'm in my library room, my holy grail, my safe space, my chillax room. I don't even know what I'm gonna call it. What I'm gonna do is I have a bit of books here that I know that I'm already getting rid of. This is the closet. I'm going to go through a couple of my books. I'm actually going to go through a couple of books that I have on my shelf as well, of books that I just want to get rid of because I know for a fact I'm not going to read, or books that I have read that I know I'm not going to keep. What are you doing? What are you doing? Huh? So I don't have like a rhyme or reason of like the books that I want to get rid of that I know I am definitely just not going to get to. Down with the Shine by Kate Quinn. I don't actually know much about this book. I think, yeah, this is definitely a YA one, and I've had it for such a long time that I know I'm not gonna get to it. It's not something that I go, ooh, I definitely want to read that. It's just been sitting on my shelf, so I'm getting rid of this one. The other one that I'm getting rid of is Umberland by Wendy Spinell. Of Fire and Stars by Audrey Coldhurst. I don't even know. I feel like this is another YA one. I have no issue with YA books. I actually love YA books because they're so easy to read and to get into. I don't really have a rhyme or reason for the reason I'm getting rid of these. I just know that I'm not going to read them anytime soon, and there's no reason for them to sit on my shelf when someone out there may actually want to read this and may actually enjoy this. So I'm therefore passing on the love of reading and books. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, guys. I'm just rambling at this point. Here's another one I want to get rid of. Carrier of the Mark by Leah Fallon. Yeah, I think at the time what got me was the cover. I thought it was cool, and then I never actually read what it was about. I just pick things up and I'm gonna go, ooh, that's cool. And then here we are, years later, and I've still not read the book. So, fun fact, when I made all of my bookshelves and put them up, I decided to do the whole double stack thing so I would have more space. Obviously this can come over like that now. Yeah, perfect. And then I have my other double spacing, but I just pulled that book out of there, so I need to find another book to put in there. Okay, so I can put the second book because I bought this book at McKay's, The Keeper of the Night, right? I am extremely interested in actually reading this book because it has to do with, I believe Japanese folklore, and it has to do with samurais and stuff. And I bought the first book at McKay's, and of course I didn't have the second one. I went to my Ollie's, because we have an Ollie's here, and I found the second book in paperback, and I was like, oh my gosh, now they match. So anyways, yeah, it's the little things that make me happy, guys, okay? I like books that match in height, in spine, you know, it's just it's just a couple little things. Anyways, I did grab a few books while I was over on that side. I don't know why while I was over there on that bookshelf, okay? I grabbed 2 more books because I know for a fact I am not going to read these books. I have A Million Junes by Emily Henry. Now, I know I've read, where is it? Funny Story by Emily Henry. I thought that book was really good. This is one of her first books, I believe. I tried getting into it and I couldn't. I couldn't really bring myself to read it, and I don't know if it was because at the time I had already read so many other romances that I couldn't bring myself to read another romance. So I'm getting rid of this one. I may come back to it later, but that'll be at another time, maybe when I'm like, ooh, I want to backlog a lot of these authors. But until then, I know I'm not going to read it, so I'd like for somebody else to have it. And then the next one, I have a friend who actually told me she read this book, which is If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nolan. She read this book and she told me that it is a waste of time and that she wished she hadn't read it. And I told her to explain like the premise to me to see if I would even be interested. I don't think that that's something that I would really care to like read. I know I'm not gonna like this, so I'm getting rid of it. I think that's all for now. Now I do have another, as you've seen me pull out, I have this other big bag of books. I did have Where the Crawdads Sing 5 Feet Apart by Rachel Lippincott. Got rid of that. Now, as you guys remember, I did read Stalking Jack the Ripper. I'm gonna let this go for now and let somebody else have a go. I read Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I actually really enjoyed it. I read it before I actually watched the movie, and then I bought the second one, and I never got around to actually finishing the series. So I'm getting rid of the first 2. I bought this one. I think it was at a secondhand bookshop, but it was What Would Audrey Do? It says The Timeless Lesson for Living with Grace and Style, and this is Audrey Hepburn. It's a cute little book. I mean, it's definitely like a good little like coffee table piece, but I don't have a coffee table. I'm also getting rid of the first book, or no, this is the second book, The Storm, which is the sequel to H2O by Virginia Bergen. And then I'm getting rid of the Prophecy of the Sisters by Michelle Zink. I'm getting rid of The Lord of Flies, mostly because this is a very beat up edition. And then I have the second Harry Potter book. I'm getting rid of Daughter of the Siren Queen because I already have a copy. I made a little short the other day. I'm getting rid of the Rebel Angels by Liba Bray. This is the second book in the series, and I got the second book with an actual cover on it, so I'm getting rid of this one. I also got Dracula, but this one has some major water damage to it. I don't even remember. I think I just bought like a couple of these books. I bought in like a big bulk of like just like a box of books that I found, and these are just ones I just didn't want to keep. The rest of these are my husband's that he's getting rid of, and it is World Religions in a Nutshell, Jesus Among Other Gods, and then The Cult Opus, The Cult of Dark Money, Human Trafficking, and Right-Wing Conspiracy Inside the Catholic Church. I don't know. I don't know where half these books come from, but yeah, those are all the books I'm getting rid of. It's quite a big pile. I'm gonna take these to McKay's, maybe get some credits, and buy some more books. I feel like I'm always buying books, but you know what? Buying books makes me happy. It's like an endorphins kick. It's the idea of having something new. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Just ignore me. Some things I think of, and then I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds good, and then I say it out loud, and I'm like, that actually sounds like shit. My big Aldi's bag that I will take to McKay's at some point, not today, because McKay's trip, maybe? No. No, we couldn't do that. Anyways, moving on. I don't know. What are we doing? What am I doing? Do you remember what I'm doing? Did I tell you what I was doing? Ah, yes. I remember. It's coming back to me now. we are going to go through my series tracker because I feel like I need to update it. Okay, let's get into the recording. Alright, so I've pulled up Notion. Now I have kind of divvied up properly all of, the volumes. I actually got this template from Jamie Folk. If you are not following her or you've not watched her videos, go check her out. She's amazing. I love watching her videos. They're so nice to watch. Anyways, moving on. These are all of the series that I am currently either in the middle of, have finished, but we're gonna do in progress. And we will start with the very first one. Now these are not done. They're not named in the actual series. It's just the first book in the series. I'll put the book on the screen for you to see, but I'm not gonna actually say the series names because I don't know the series names. Filthy Rich Vampires. I didn't like the fact that he used the word pet in every other sentence. Probably not one of my favorites. I said, all I'm saying is I never want to hear the nickname pet ever again. That is so true. So true. I rated this 3 stars. It was okay, but it was definitely not something that I loved. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue on with the series, but as of right now, the second one is The Second Right. I have Murder by Memory by Olivia Waite. This was actually a really interesting one. It's like a short novella. I think it's like 122 pages, but it's like a murder mystery in the futuristic. She's on a ship. She gets put in a body. She's actually this 80-year-old woman who's a detective. Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. I was not expecting this book to be as good as it was. It was very much a cozy fantasy in Regency times. It was actually really interesting and I actually really liked it. I think it was very good. And then I have Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. what I may end up doing is reading Shadow and Bone series before I continue on with the Six of Crows. I would like to read the whole series. The Shadow and Bone series, you're supposed to read before Six of Crows, and then you're supposed to read Six of Crows, Shadow and Bone before you read King of Scars. So I would definitely like to continue on with that. Three Dark Crowns. I did start this at one point. I can't remember where I ended off though. I remember reading it. I feel like I finished it, but I have 5. How many books do I have up there? I have 5, but I think there's more than that. There's little novellas and prequels and sequels that go along with the story, so I definitely need to reread that. So that's on this list for sure. Perfected by Kate Jarvik Birch. This is an old one. I feel like I read this in high school, maybe. Definitely an interesting series. They're basically these young little short petite little girls that they consider that these people buy and put in cages to almost have as decorations, and they're called dolls, and they're made to be these perfect sort of pets almost. Yeah, very interesting story. I didn't realize it was a series. I think at the time I was like, oh, that's an interesting ending, and I thought it just ended there, but apparently it's a series, and it's a very big series, so I put that on there because I would definitely like to reread that series again. The Inheritance Games, I read the first one. I have yet to read the second one, but it's definitely on there. I also have ACOTAR on here. I'm finished. I'm caught up on all of the books. I'm waiting for the next one in Nesta's story. I haven't heard anything on that, so if you guys have heard anything, let me know, because I'm nosy and impatient, and I want to know when we're getting the next book. 6 Crimson Cranes. Now, I've read the first 2 books. There's technically 1 book that I have to finish. One singular book, and it is a novella to before. It's called Her Radiant Curse. All I have to do is read that one and I'm done with the series. I don't know why I've taken so long to do that, but I have. What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. I didn't realize this was a series. Well, actually, I think it's 3 books as of right now. The first book, I actually really enjoyed it. It's definitely a good short story. It's a retelling, but it's horror, a little bit of fantasy mixed in there. It's an interesting read. I was a little confused as to why we were talking about mushrooms to begin with, but it all makes sense. Lights Out by Nevessa Allen. I have the first one. I've read the first one. Caught Up is now out, which I believe this is going to be like an interconnected series. The first one was so good. Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why I haven't picked up the second book or continued in the series. The first book, it's definitely a good one. Like, there's a lot of things that I remember about it, but I would like to continue on with the series. So the next one I need to read is The Dragon Republic. But that book was deep. Political type of book that has to do with war. Very good book. If you've not read it, definitely go give it a shot. The next one, Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I'm going to tell you right now. I know at one point I rated this book at 4 stars. But the more I think about it, and the more I actually look back on the book, this is going to be a very unpopular opinion. The only reason that this book is even remotely good is because there is a Shadow Daddy in it. If there was no Shadow Daddy, if Xaden did not exist, people wouldn't be going as crazy for this book series. I'm going to tell you right now. People would not be going as crazy for it. The plot, the world building, I just feel like this book was sort of written for the aspect of people who like a Shadow Daddy and a little bit of fantasy and a little bit of fighting. It was good. I probably will get a lot of hate for that, but you know what? That's an unpopular opinion. Reading is subjective. Don't come for me. If you like the book, great. It was a it was a good read. I had fun with it. But if it stood on a pedestal, it would be below the third. Okay? Think about that. Just think about it. Anyways. The next book was Mystery Royales. Actually, just recently. I don't actually know if this is a series. But the way that the book ended, it could very well be a series. Also, when you look at it on Goodreads, it says book 1. So, I'm assuming. Loved that book, by the way. It's very good. It's very enjoyable. Mistborn. I have the second book on my TBR for this month. Am I going to read it? Absolutely. Am I nervous about it? Yes. Brandon Sanderson is just trying to break my heart. I don't know. The Neighbor Favor, the first one was really good. I actually really enjoyed it. It's very cute, cozy, fluffy sort of romance. Definitely recommend reading it if you like that stuff. I'm excited to continue on with the series. I didn't actually realize it was a series. So these are definitely going to be books that I'm going to be putting in between all of my other fantasy reads if I can get to them. Fading to Blood. So the next one I have to read is A Curse Carved in Bone. I actually really enjoyed this. The ending was very good. I love mythology. I love anything that has to deal with some sort of real history in it, because I love historical fiction. I don't know why. Assistant to the Villain. I haven't read the second book yet. I do have it. It is on my TBR card for me to read. I have not yet read it though, but I will. Powerless. I'm currently on Fearless. I'm currently 16% into Fearless. Enjoying it so far. My problem is I've been reading it at work on lunch. I get into it and then my lunch is up. So I've been taking my sweet time with that one. Broken Flames by M.K. Ahern. I read this in a day. It is a duology. I'm excited to read it. Warring Tides, because the way that it ended, it definitely ended on a point where they were possibly going to go to war. Zodiac by Romina Rousseau. I have the second book. I have it. It's currently sitting on my TBR cart. You know how I said that I didn't know the series names? I take that back. This one I did know because I didn't want to type out the name because the name's a little bit long. But The Mead and Mishaps was, the first one was The Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. That book, I read that so quickly. It was so much fun. It was so interesting. The fact that there was the ability that they put not only fantasy and romance, and they made it kind of balance out where you're not getting more of one thing and less of the other. The author did a really good job on this. The second book is The Time I Got Drunk and Needed a Love Potion at a Werewolf. Summertime Rendering. This is my manga read. This series is wild. I don't know why I haven't picked it up. I literally have the third book. It's sitting there staring at me. But this one's a wild one. It's like a horror mystery. Definitely a good one. If you're looking for a good manga, this is the only manga I've ever read. The Raven Boys. I don't have the first book with me because I lent it out to a friend to read because I was telling her about it, and she's like, oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. For a YA story, this book eats. And the last one is Caraval. I'm not gonna lie, there were a lot of things that I kind of guessed at happening in that book, but it was still a fun ride to read. I have so many that I have to read and continue on with. A lot of them are interconnected series. Let's see, completed. Oh, I finished this last year. The Murderbot Diaries. If you have not read The Murderbot Diaries, please go do so now. Anyways, yeah, those are all the series that I have. 25. Oh, do I have DNF series? Oh, yes, I do. My 2 DNFs. Bride. I know that there is a second book coming out called Mated. I will not be reading that. I won't. I don't know if it's the fact that I just don't like the werewolf romance, if that's just not for me, or if the book itself just wasn't that good. And then Stalking Jack the Ripper. As you guys have seen, I started that one, didn't finish it, but I'm DNFing it. I'm curious, what books on this list would you guys like to see me read? Now, part of me wants to go to Target. Part of me also wants to go to McKay's and drop off these books. It's a struggle to figure out what I want to do. I'm indecisive, guys, okay? I'm very indecisive. Also, Peek the Stray Kids shirt. If you guys didn't know this, I am a huge Stray Kids fan. I actually just recently went to one of their concerts. If you follow me on TikTok, go follow me on TikTok. You'll see some of my highlights of that trip. Maybe I'll sit down and read some more of the naturals. I'm currently, I don't even know how far I'm in, but I actually really need to record 2 videos. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to actually record finishing series I'm in the middle of. I like that because I've got Fearless, I've got The Well of Ascension, and then I could also do Her Radiant Curse. I'm not gonna actually, I don't know if that's actually gonna be all 3 in a video, but I could do that. So what do you wanna do? You wanna read? You wanna go to Target? Run to McKay's? I definitely need to eat first. So that's what we'll do. We'll eat, and then we'll come back and discuss. Alright, I've decided what I want to do, and we're going to go to McKay's. So, we're going to take those books to McKay's, do a little decluttering. Maybe I'll run to Target on my way back home. The next time I see you, I'll be in McKay's. This place is busy is an understatement. I've got a lot of books though, so I may just call it quits. I didn't get to drop off my book because the line was unbearably long, so I didn't do very much recording here because I can't put myself out there just yet, so we're gonna call it for today. I'm gonna take some damage for sure, but yeah, I'll see you back at home or at Target, whichever comes first. Not gonna lie, I still have my bag of books. The line to get in once I got into McKay's to like actually drop off was extremely long, as I was leaving, I asked them, like, what's the processing time? And they said an hour and a half. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to wait another hour and a half. So I'll probably end up coming back at a different time. Now, I did buy books. All of those. We're not going to talk about how much I spent on that. Cody, if you're watching this, I only spent $20.
Do you need help with that?
No, I got it. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. Okay, I lied. I stopped and got myself a sweet treat up here at, what is this? Super Chicks Chicken and Custard. It's actually really good. So, now I'm gonna go home. Alright, friends, now that we are back home, I literally, I swear to you, I straightened my hair. Well, I did. It was straight at one point, but it is so hot outside that it's starting to frizz and curl again. So, anyways, made it back home. I bought my bookshelf, which I will eventually get it put up, and it'll go right there next to that one, and it'll have the fairy lights like this because I ordered 2 boxes. But now that we're back from McKay's, we're gonna do an impromptu book haul because your girl went a little crazy. I would have spent McKay's money if the line hadn't been so long, but the line was extremely long and I didn't want to wait in that line. I could have waited. I could have very well waited, but I decided not to. I don't know why. I just didn't like that idea. I needed to get to the books, you know? Because I got 9 books at McKay's, and then I bought 1 book at Target, but my husband doesn't know that. Until he watches this video, of course. But the book I bought at Target was the second book in Serpents in the Wings of Night. This is book 2 of that one. Have I read it? No, but do I like having the full series? Yes. That's a bad habit of mine. Anyways, moving on to the 9 books that I got at McKay's. I'm actually really excited. Like I said, there were a couple books that I found that I was not expecting to find at all. I'm gonna be honest, all these books I found I wasn't expecting to find because you never know what you're gonna get at McKay's. The first one that I'm actually really kind of excited about is Japanese Tales of Mystery and Imagination. This was like $2.50 and I was like, why not? I think they're short stories and I think this is gonna be fun. So it says translated by James B. Harris with new foreword by Patricia Welch. So it says Rampo is Japanese foremost writer of mystery and tales of suspense. It says contains 9 blood-curdling tales that combine the quick tempo of Western writing with the rich fantasy of the East. So kind of excited about that. Book 1. A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. This one is, I believe this is like a Dracula retelling, but from his wife's POV. Could totally be wrong on that. Most of the time I am. I might have a thing for vampires. I might be in my vampire era. I don't know. Who knows? This one I feel like just recently came out. This came out this year, and this was in McKay's. It is I Got Abducted by Aliens and Now I'm Trapped in a Rom-Com by Kimberly Lemming. She just recently posted this. She is also the same author that wrote the Mean Mishaps. So, The Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon, The Time I Got Drunk and Needed a Love Potion, The Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Human, those books. Same author. So, me and a friend were actually at the bookstore a while ago looking at this, and we were kind of intrigued by the title. And then I found it at McKay's, so I had to pick it up. The next ones I'm honestly really excited about because I got all 3 for the series. They all match. V.E. Schwab's A Darker Shade of Magic. I also got A Gathering of Shadows and A Conjuring of Light. So I got all... Ooh, let me do this without dropping them. I got all 3 books. They were there, and they're beautiful, and I love these. Have I read a V.E. Schwab book? No. Do I plan to? Yes. V. Schwab is very highly known, and I want to give her books a shot, so that's what I'm doing. I got those 3. The next one, I went up to their manga section, and I kind of did like a little like once through to see what they had. I don't want to buy... Manga is one of those things where you get multiple volumes, like multiple, like into like the 20-something mangas, okay? And I am not gonna be one of those people where I buy the whole series of a manga and not read it. So I found this. It's a Jin Demi-Human. So basically it says say you get hit by a truck and die. You come back to life, good or bad. For high schooler Kai, and for at least 46 others, immortality comes at the nastiest surprise ever. Sadly for Kai, but refreshingly for the reader, such a feat doesn't make him a superhero. In the eyes of both the general public and the governments, he's a rare specimen who needs to be hunted down and handed over to the scientist to be experimented on for life. A demi-human who must die 1,000 deaths for the benefit of humanity. So smart, fast-paced, and wrenching. A Jin Demi-Human is a thriller that just keeps on getting better and deeper. So I grabbed the first one. We didn't have the second one, but like I said, I want to read the manga before I buy the whole series, like I've done with A Summertime Rendering. So I bought this one. This one kind of sounded interesting. I like the idea of a manga thriller. I also need to get into reading One Piece. I'm like literally towards the end of Fishman Island in One Piece. I've been watching it, but I think it'd be easier for me if I just read it, because I feel like I could catch up quicker. I don't know my logic on that. I just feel like it'd be easier. But the last 2 books, I never would have expected to see both of them, let alone one. But these are by the author Brahm. And if you don't know who Brahm is, I didn't either until I was watching Heather McLary's post, not her post, her videos, and she was talking about these books, about how she read these books. I think there's another person that also read this other one, but I got Krampus, the Yule Lord by Brahm, and I got Slewfoot. And these are both, so this one is a tale of bewitchery, and this one is a tale of Krampus, who, if you don't know the lore behind it, he is technically the opposite of Santa Claus. He's like the evil version. I'm trying to think what lore did he come, like what region did he come from? Because I know like it's like Saint Nicholas, and then Krampus is like I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying. But I found both these books, and to say that I was giddy is an understatement. I was super stoked. I almost put this one back because I was like, I've already got so many books in my cart, but I was like, you know what? I'm not going to get a chance to get these at a decently priced sale. So I got both. And you know what? I think I did fairly well. Even though I spent quite a bit of money, I think I did fairly well. There were a lot of other books that I wanted to buy. They had the entire, well, I think almost the entire Throne of Glass paperback original cover editions in the YA section, and I almost bought them. They were like $10 a piece. But I decided, since I've already got the hardcover newer edition ones, that I will leave that for somebody else. But I would like to get paper versions of either the newer version or the original cover version. Fun fact, I like hardback books, but I prefer to read paperback. Anyways, I'm probably going to call it for today. I may end up building my bookshelf either tonight or this weekend. I'm not entirely sure, but I'll do that soon. And then I'll give you guys updates on it because, you know, I'm always excited about building my little room now. But yeah, those were the books. Thanks for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you like my content or enjoy watching my videos, please make sure to like, subscribe, share, comment, do all those things. And until next time, friends, bye.